Hey, what's up, y'all? Yeah, so in this video, I'm going to be doing, the first, VicTube, college football top 25, in, week 4. I had started out doing a top, 10, but now I've decided to go ahead and, expand to a top 25. So, but anyway, of course, last week I was just, going crazy. I was just putting, teams like Syracuse and Wake Forest in my top 10. Like, well, hold up, that there's probably a better way to talk about these underrated teams without actually putting them in the top 10. So yeah, so this one will be, you know, will be a little bit less crazy than my last top 10. But anyway, so I'll put up my top 10 from last week right now. So we had last week in the top 10, of course, we had number 1 Georgia, 2 Ohio State, 3 Alabama, 4 Michigan, 5 Arkansas, 6 Penn State, 7 Kentucky, 8 Southern Cal, 9 Wake Forest, and number 10 was Syracuse. So okay, there we go. So now for today, we're going to do the top top 25. So we're going to start from the top and work our way down. So now we're going to put up the first 9s. This is 25 through 17, right? So at coming at number 25, we do have Michigan State. So of course, coming off of a loss to Washington. So if we're gonna rank, Washington, if we're gonna, give Washington some, credit for, beating Michigan State. Then I feel like we gotta give Michigan State some credit too. So yeah. So anyway, because we thought that beating Michigan State was top 25 worthy, then I feel like Michigan State should still be ranked too. So I got them at number 25. And then 24, I have Pitt. Of course, I am giving my mom Pitt, credit for a close loss to Tennessee in overtime. So, and then number 23, Texas. Yes, I am giving them credit for only losing to Alabama by 1 point. And then let's see, and then next at number 22, we've got Syracuse. Yeah, I dropped them out. Yeah, I dropped them out of the top 10. Yeah. after they kind of did sort of well they struggled against Liberty, only beat them by 1 point. So Wake Forest offense looks good, but their defense is looks bad. So but yeah, they do have they did get Sam Hartman back. They still have A.T. Perry. So it looks like Wake should be starting out where they left off last year. So, and then number 21. Now this is a surprise team this season. We at 21 we do have Syracuse. Remember when we thought that Syracuse was going to be terrible. They're not even going to make. They're not making a bowl. Dino Babers is getting fired, but now they're 3-0. They do have some impressive wins against Louisville. Who they actually blew them out in week 1. They also had an epic, come from behind win against Purdue. That was a great game. So anyway, and now at number 20, we have a team that I feel is criminally overrated in the AP poll. I think they're all the way at number 12. But in my poll, I do have them at number 20. I think NC State is 3-0, but they really haven't looked that great. Of course, they did have the game where they almost lost to East Carolina. But now they're they just got a good win against Texas Tech. So, and then anyway, so then number 19, I put Minnesota. I think they're the best team in the Big Ten West so far. Right, they've destroyed every team they've played, but I know that who have they played? Yeah, but they've played bad teams. They play like teams like New Mexico State and Western Illinois and Colorado, but they've been they've just been obliterating these teams. So that's why I got Minnesota at 19. Right, they will get their first real test against Michigan State. So, and then coming in at number 18, we've got Kansas. And so Kansas, of course, definitely the biggest surprise of the year, by far the most improved team. Kansas is 3-0, and I've got them at number 18. So another team this team is criminally underrated. They're not even ranked in the AP. But anyway, Kansas is about to play Duke. They're about to be 4-0. So, and it now looks, like a bowl game seems likely. So, anyway, yeah, of course they just came off of a blowout win over on the road at Houston. So and we got number 17 Washington. Yes, they are. 3-0, and yes, they did just beat Michigan State, though. Yeah, their schedule for the next few weeks looks very favorable too. So, all right, so now we're going to move on to. So now I'm going to show you the next 8. Right, this will be what was this? I guess 16 to 9. Yeah, so coming in at number 16. Yeah, really, my mom. Number 16, number 15, number 14. You've got Baylor, who was beaten by BYU, who was beaten by Oregon. So, see how that works? Yeah. Yeah, obviously you've got to have BYU above Baylor because they beat Baylor, even though the AP actually has Baylor ahead of BYU, which makes no sense. Anyways, then we got Oregon at number 14, of course, with their only loss being they got mollywopped by Georgia, but it's Georgia, so I mean, and then next they went out and scored 70 points on Eastern Washington, and now they just beat BYU by 3 touchdowns, who was coming off an overtime win against Baylor. So now Oregon actually is a good team. And then anyway, coming in at number 13, we have Kentucky. Yes, I did have to drop them out of my top 10. And then what number 7? Number 7 or number 6 last week. But anyway, so I did have to drop Kentucky down after they only beat Youngstown State 31-0. So, but anyway. Yeah, so because they only scored 31, even though the shutout was good, but yeah. And then number 12, Arkansas. I also had to bump them down. I think I had them all the way up at number 5, but yeah, I bumped them down after their struggle win. Yeah, excuse me, their miracle come from behind win against Missouri State. So I still think that they're a good team, but I mean, I do think that they are still the best running team in the SEC. So I do still think Arkansas is a force to be reckoned with, but and that they just had a bad game, but I had to punish them for it. Right. So the next we've got Oklahoma State and Ole Miss. Now I thought these two teams were close, but both of them have had really good offenses. But I do feel like I went with Ole Miss at number 10 because they have the better defense. Although Oklahoma State's defense is improving. So, but anyway. Of course, Oklahoma State just destroyed, some FCS team like 63-7, and of course, Ole Miss was 42-0 over Georgia Tech. So I know it's Georgia Tech, but still, I mean, it's right. But anyway, that's all you can do. So, and then coming in at number 9, we have Clemson. Yeah, the Tater Man. Yeah, and then yes, of course their defense has been really good. I feel like it hasn't really, like, their defense really hasn't shown itself to be elite yet, but they're really good, right? But obviously they're not, Georgia's or Alabama's or Michigan's defense. So anyway, also their offense still has a a lot to prove. So, but I mean, they are going to get their opportunity to prove themselves against Mum Wake Forest. So there's still time for Clemson to climb back up into the top 4. But anyway, so now next we've got now before we get into the final 8, I guess I will do some go ahead and give you others receiving votes and teams that were not included. So I guess we're gonna start with teams that I did that were in the AP that did not include my poll. Let's see. Well, Florida. I do think that Florida is just. They're just not good. I mean, yes, they did get the win against Utah, but then since then they lost to Kentucky, and then they should have lost to South Florida. So, but anyway, yeah. So then by extension, I also did not have Utah in my poll either, because they lost to Florida, and that so far was really their only meaningful game. But I mean, they'll have opportunities for redemption. Right? They do have get Arizona State this week, and they've got Southern Cal coming up. So, and as for yeah, and also did not have Texas A&M and Miami. Right? Because of course Texas A&M beat Miami, but Texas A&M also lost to App State, and then App State should have lost to Troy. So, yeah, yes, that's why I didn't have them in my top 25. But I mean, there is still opportunities for redemption. So, anyway. And then also, of course, I did have Michigan State in my poll. They were not in. They got kicked out of the AP. So now, where other teams I considered, teams like North Carolina, I think I considered Florida State, Washington State, Iowa State. Yeah, those were some unbeatens that I considered, but they just didn't quite make the cut. So, yeah, Oregon State, yeah, is a another unbeaten. So yeah. But anyway, so now let's get into the Elite Eight. So sorry, number 8 we do have Tennessee. I mean they did have a close. I mean they are battle tested from that Pitt game. They found a way to win. So, and they also just absolutely obliterated their other two cupcakes. So, and now they're getting ready to play Florida. So, yeah, and I do think that that game's going to get ugly for Florida. So. And anyway, and then at number 7, now here we're going to have familiar faces at the top. Let's see, number 7, we've got Southern Cal. Yeah, they're coming off a big win against Fresno State. Yeah. And then Caleb Williams has looked good. So anyway, and then number 6 we've got Oklahoma. Yeah, of course Oklahoma is back in the top 10. Did have some doubts about them after they sort of struggled in the first half with Kent State. But anyway, and then they just mollywopped Nebraska. So just beat them by just beat them by 35 points. So and then number 5 we've got Penn State. Now I know that you might think that I have them kind of overrated, and maybe I do, but anyway, so they did get the big road win against Purdue, and then of course they just exposed Auburn last week. That freshman running back that they've got is really good. So anyway, so now here we go, the top 4. I did have Michigan, Alabama, Ohio State, and Georgia. Now let's see. Now Michigan, I did have at number 4. I mean, they've looked, really good. Although they haven't, played anyone, but they're beating, everyone they play, like 50 something to 10. I mean, yeah. And then they have made a switch at quarterback, right? They have switched to the more talented J.J. McCarthy over Cade McNamara. So, and of course they'll get their first real test against Maryland. So. And anyway, so then number 3, we've got Alabama. Yes, now 2 and 3. And I know that they're both pretty close, but I mean, of course, Bama did have that struggle win against Texas. So. But anyway, and now Ohio State, they scored 77 on Toledo. I mean, that looks like Ohio State's offense has arrived. They got C.J. Stroud throwing the ball to was it Marvin Harrison and Emeka Egbuka, and now they're getting Jackson Smith-Njigba back this week. Yeah, it looks like Ohio State is starting to look like the team that we thought they were going to be. So, and then of course at number one we've got Georgia. Yeah, I mean they're everyone's number one, right? I mean we just absolutely obliterated, you know, every team we've played. We had the big wins against Oregon and South Carolina. Yeah, I mean we are the unquestioned number one. So, but anyway, thanks for watching. Yes, let me know what you think in the comments below. Tell me where I'm wrong. And anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all again next time.